Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We are putting your knowledge to the test. How well do you really know India's key food safety regulations? We've cooked up a quick quiz to see if you've got what it takes. Ready? Let's jump in.
So, do you think you have the chops? We're diving deep into the food safety and standards regulations from 2011. Go ahead and keep a mental score as we go, and let's see how you do. Okay, here we go. Here's a quick look at what's on the menu. We'll kick things off with rules for the smallest businesses, then level up to formal licensing. After that, we'll get into the super important details on hygiene, and finish up with compliance and records. Sound good? Let's get started.
Okay, round one. We're starting with the foundational rules for what the law calls petty food businesses. Think small-scale manufacturers, street food vendors, the regulations that really impact people at the ground level. First question for you. The term petty food manufacturer covers all of these except for one. So which one is the odd one out? Is it A, handling milk up to 500 liters a day, B, a cooperative milk producer, C, food processing up to 100 kilos a day, or D, an itinerant vendor? Take a second. Which one doesn't fit? And the answer is B. If you picked cooperative milk producer, you are spot on. Here's why. A producer who is part of a co-op and sells all their milk directly to that society is actually exempt from registration. So since they're exempt, they just don't fall under this definition in the first place. Tricky, right? Okay, next question. This one's about timelines. So let's say a small food business applies for registration, but then crickets. They hear nothing back. They can legally start their business after a certain amount of time. How long do they have to wait? Is it 7 days, 15 days, 30 days, or 45 days? 30 days. That's the magic number. If an applicant doesn't get a yes, a no, or even a notice for an inspection within 30 days of applying, well, the law says they can go ahead and get to work. It's a really important rule to stop small businesses from getting stuck in administrative limbo. All right. How's your score looking? Let's crank up the difficulty a little. We're moving on from the basic registration for small vendors to the more formal licensing process needed for bigger food businesses. It's a key distinction, right? Registration is for the smallest players, licensing is for larger operations. This one is all about getting the paperwork right. If you want to apply for a food license, you have to use a very specific form and schedule. So which combination is it? Form B and Schedule 1? Form A and Schedule 2? Form B and Schedule 2, or Form A and Schedule 1? And the correct answer is C, Form B of Schedule 2. It might seem like a tiny detail, but getting this wrong can stall the entire process. It really shows you how precise you have to be with these administrative rules. Here we go, another timeline question, but this time it's for the full license. Once a completed application is in the system, what's the maximum amount of time the authority has to issue that license? Is it 15, 30, 45, or 60 days? The answer is 60 days. And just like with the registration process, this rule is there to protect the business owner. If 60 days go by from the date the application is complete and they haven't heard anything back, they are legally allowed to start their business. All right, we've covered the paperwork. Now let's get into the really practical stuff. We're talking about Schedule 4 of the regulations, which lays out all the specific rules for hygiene and sanitary practices. This is the day-to-day action that keeps our food safe. Okay, this next question deals with a really important aspect of safety and animal welfare in slaughterhouses. According to Schedule 4, is stunning animals before slaughter A, optional, B, mandatory, C, only for poultry, or D, only for large animals? The answer here is clear. It's mandatory. The rule itself says stunning should be mandatory. This is required to minimize the animal's suffering, and it's seen as a critical step for both humane treatment and for maintaining safety standards. Okay, this one is absolutely essential. Temperature control. This slide shows you the safe zones. Any food that's being served hot has to be kept at 60 degrees Celsius or above, and chilled food has to stay at 5 degrees or below. That big gap in between, that's what we call the danger zone, where bacteria can just multiply like crazy. Speaking of temperature, we all reheat leftovers, right? Well, there's a magic number to make sure it's safe to eat. What is the minimum internal temperature reheated food has to hit? Is it 60, 65, 74, or 82 degrees Celsius?
74 degrees Celsius. That's the one. It doesn't matter if you're using a microwave or a stovetop, you have to make sure the very middle of the food gets to that temperature. That's how you know you've destroyed any nasty bacteria that might have started to grow. We are in the home stretch now, our final section. This is all about the procedures and the paper trail that keeps businesses accountable and makes sure they're playing by the rules day in and day out. Let's see how you do on this last round.
Nobody likes paying late fees. So if a food business is late with their renewal paperwork, what's the daily penalty they have to pay? Is it 50, 100, 500, or 1,000 rupees per day? The penalty is 100 rupees per day. And the key thing here is that this fee kicks in for every single day of delay that happens before the old license actually expires. It's a pretty good incentive to get your paperwork sorted out on time. Okay, last question, and this one is so important for public health. To make sure that the people handling our food aren't carrying any diseases, how often do they have to get a medical exam? Is it A, never, B, once a year, C, only when they first get the job, or D, every 5 years?
And the correct answer is B, once a year. Every single person who handles food has to be medically examined annually. And not only that, a signed record from a doctor has to be kept on file, ready for an inspection at any time. This is truly a cornerstone of keeping our food supply safe. So that's the quiz. How did you do? Whether you aced it or maybe learned something new, it's pretty clear these rules aren't just random trivia. They're a whole system of forms, fees, temperatures, and timelines all working together to protect our health. And that leaves us with one big final thought. How do all these tiny, specific details come together to build our trust in the food we eat every single day? It's something to chew on. Thanks for putting your knowledge to the test with us today.